The place didn't look like much. Old building, half lit. The kind of spot people passed without noticing. That's why Walt picked it. Troy got Walt's name from asking around. He was a con man, but known for doing bigger deals. Troy walked in first. No hesitation. But his eyes moved quick, sharp, taking everything in. Empty. Quiet. Then, door. Troy turned. Walt stood just inside the entrance, closing it behind him. No rush. No wasted motion. You, Troy. Troy nodded. You, Walt? That depends who's asking. Troy smirked slightly. The one trying to make you some money. Walt studied him for a second, then stepped forward. Let's hear it. Troy didn't sit. Didn't lean. He stayed standing. I got product, he said. High grade, not street-level garbage. Walt didn't react. Everybody says that. I'm not everybody. No, Walt said. You're the one asking for a meet. That landed. Troy reached into his jacket slowly and pulled out a tight stack. Set it on the table. Walt didn't touch it right away. He looked at Troy first. Mind if I? Troy gestured. Go ahead. Walt picked up the stack. Turned it once in his hand. Not counting. Feeling it. Then he set it down and pulled a small scale from his pocket. Set the stack on it. Watched the number. Didn't say anything. Troy raised an eyebrow. You're not going to count it? Walt didn't look up. I just did. He tapped the scale lightly. Weight doesn't lie. People do. He picked up the stack again. Bent it slightly. Let it snap back. Then peeled one bill off. Held it up to the light. No reaction. Just quiet confirmation. It's good, Walt said. Troy nodded once. Told you. Walt set the stack down. Quantity? 3, Troy said. Walt looked at him. 3 what? Million. Walt didn't react, but something in his eyes sharpened. And you're trying to turn that into? 1.5, Troy said. Clean. Walt let out a small breath through his nose. Not impressed. Not surprised. Just calculating. That's not a flip, Walt said. That's a problem. Troy frowned. How you figure? Because anything that size gets attention, Walt replied. Movement, not product, is what gets people caught. Troy leaned slightly forward. So what, you can't do it? Walt met his eyes. I didn't say that. Silence. Short. Measured. I don't do open exchanges, Walt said. No tables, no bags, no stand here while I stand here. That's how people get robbed or arrested. Troy crossed his arms. So how do you do it? Walt stepped back slightly, like he was already seeing it play out. Separation, he said. Verification, then lock. Troy watched him. Explain that. Or 2 rooms, Walt said, or 2 spaces. You never see my full side. I never see yours. Troy didn't interrupt. You send samples, Walt continued. I test. I send confirmation. We repeat until there's no question left. And then, Walt looked at him, then we don't exchange anything. Troy frowned. That doesn't make sense. It will, Walt said. When you stop thinking like somebody who's about to get robbed, that got a slight smile out of Troy. All right, he said. So what happens at the end? Walt stepped closer to the table, tapped it once. Both sides get sealed, he said. Locked. No hands on anything. Locked how? Doesn't matter, Walt said. Cases, rooms, units. Point is, once it's set, nobody touches anything. Troy narrowed his eyes slightly. And then what? We walk away. Bat sat there. Troy let out a small laugh. You serious? That's the only way it works, Walt said. Because if either one of us is standing over the full amount at the same time, the deal's already broken. Troy thought about that. Didn't respond right away. You ever done it like that before? He asked. Walt didn't hesitate. Every deal I finish. Troy looked down at the stack on the table. Then back at Walt. You can move 1.5 clean? Walt nodded once. Yeah, but this one felt different, settled. Troy reached out and took his stack back. All right, he said. Let's do it your way. Walt nodded. Good, he said. Because my way is the only reason this works. Troy started toward the door, stopped, looked back. One more thing, he said. You try anything. Walt didn't let him finish. I don't have to, he said. That's the point. Troy held his gaze for a second, then nodded once, and walked out. Walt stayed where he was. Still, thinking. Already moving pieces in his head. 3 into 1 5, he muttered quietly, then a faint smirk. Yeah, that'll work. Melissa stood at her register inside Walmart, scanning items one after another. Find everything okay today? Yeah. Your total is 42.18. Same rhythm. Same script. But something felt off. People were looking at her longer than usual. Conversations dropped when she walked past. That quiet shift in energy you couldn't prove, but you knew it was there. Girl, you okay? Melissa looked up. Libby leaned against the end of the register, arms folded, wearing that soft, concerned smile she always used. I'm fine, Melissa said. Libby nodded slowly. You sure? You just seem distracted. I said, I'm fine. All right, Libby said lightly. No attitude. I'm just checking on you. Melissa scanned another item. I'm good. Okay, Libby said, dragging the word out just enough. Just don't want you out here looking crazy for no reason. Melissa's hand paused for half a second. I don't look crazy. I didn't say you did, Libby replied quickly, smiling. I said I don't want people thinking that. Melissa glanced at her. Libby leaned in a little, lowering her voice. You know how people are in here. Melissa didn't respond. The customer paid and left. The lane cleared. Libby stepped closer. So, you hear what people are saying? Melissa's eyes sharpened. What people? Libby gave a small shrug. Just talk, nothing serious. Like what? I mean, I don't believe it, Libby said, holding her hands up. You know I don't move like that. They're saying you got money coming in, she said quietly, but you're keeping it quiet, acting different. Like you're above everybody now. Melissa stared at her. Who said that? Libby hesitated just long enough to make it feel real. I don't want to start drama. That means you already did. Libby let out a soft laugh. See, that's what I'm saying. You're already on edge. That's how stuff gets worse. Melissa's jaw tightened. Just tell me. I heard Donna's name, Libby said, lowering her voice even more, but don't go running up on her like that. That's exactly what people expect you to do. Melissa's eyes flicked toward the self-checkout lanes across the store. Donna. Laughing with someone, like nothing was wrong. Libby followed her gaze, then gently added, I mean, if it's not true, why even react? Melissa didn't answer. Unless it is bothering you, Libby continued, soft and careful, which would make sense. I would be bothered too if someone was talking about me. Melissa grabbed the edge of the register. You're saying don't say anything. I'm saying be smart, Libby replied. Because the second you react, it's going to turn into, see? That's what we meant. Melissa exhaled slowly. Libby tilted her head. You don't want them painting you like that. Melissa looked at her. Like what? Libby smiled slightly. Like you think you're better than everybody. Melissa's expression hardened. I don't. I know that, Libby said quickly. I'm just saying, perception is everything. A customer rolled up with a full cart. Melissa rang them up, but her focus was gone. Her eyes kept drifting. Donna, still laughing, still comfortable. Like Melissa didn't exist. A few minutes later, Melissa stepped away from her register. Where are you going? Libby asked casually. Break. Libby nodded. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Melissa walked across the store. Each step faster than the last. Her heart was pounding now. Donna came into full view. Still talking, still smiling. Melissa slowed, then stopped. Donna turned slightly, almost noticing her. This was it. Melissa took a step forward, then stopped herself. Libby's voice echoed in her head. Don't go running up on her. That's what they expect. Melissa clenched her jaw. Not here. Not like this. She turned away. From across the store, Libby watched. A slow smile spread across her face. Good, she muttered. Hold it in. She pulled out her phone and typed. Libby text. She saw you. Didn't say anything. She's heated. A reply came quickly. Donna, let her be. Libby smirked slightly. Oh, I will, she whispered. For now. She slipped her phone away and walked off like nothing happened. Melissa pushed through the back doors into the employee hallway, breathing harder now. Her hands were shaking. Not from fear. From anger. From being played. She leaned against the wall, staring at the floor. "Not here," she muttered. "Not like that." But one thing was clear. This wasn't over. Outside, Melissa walked into the parking lot, keys in hand. The air felt heavier now. Eyes, whispers, energy. All of it followed her out. She got to her car and stopped. Her reflection stared back at her in the window. "You got me messed up," she said quietly. She opened the door. One thing was certain. She wasn't letting this slide. Inside Walmart, Donna stood in the back hallway near the lockers. She wasn't on her phone anymore. Wasn't talking. Just standing there, thinking. Rochelle walked up. "You good?" Donna shrugged. "Yeah." That didn't look like "yeah." Donna leaned against the locker. "Melissa really thinks I'm talking shit about her." "Well, are you?" Rochelle asked carefully. Donna didn't answer right away. "Then, I mean. I've said stuff," she admitted, "but not like that." Rochelle raised an eyebrow. "What kind of stuff?" Donna sighed. "Just that she's been different, that she don't really mess with nobody like she used to." "That's not the same thing." "I know," Donna said. "But it's enough to get twisted." Rochelle nodded slowly. "So say that to her." Donna shook her head. "I'm going to try to. Hopefully she will listen." Donna looked toward the front of the store. "She better," she said quietly, "because I'm not about to lose a friend over something like this." Outside, Melissa finally started the car. But she didn't pull off. Instead, she picked up her phone again, scrolled, stopped. "Donna." This time she hit call. It rang once, twice. Donna answered. "Hello?" Melissa didn't speak right away. Then, "Did you say anything about me?" Donna let out a breath. "Nothing like what you're thinking. That's not what I asked." "I said you've been different," Donna replied. That's it. Melissa's grip tightened on the phone. "Different how?" "Like, you got something going on and you don't trust nobody enough to say it," Donna said. "Like you pulled back." Melissa didn't respond. "Because that part wasn't wrong." "But I didn't say you thought you were better than people," Donna continued. "I didn't say anything about money. That's not me." Melissa stared through the windshield. "So where did that come from?" Donna didn't hesitate. "You already know." Melissa closed her eyes briefly. "Loopy. I'm not saying she made it up," Donna added. But she definitely didn't help it. Melissa let out a slow breath. "Why would she do that?" "I don't know," Donna said. "Some people just like stirring stuff." "Or maybe she don't like you like that." Melissa shook her head slightly. "She's always been cool with me." "Yeah," Donna replied, "to your face." Silence hung between them, but it felt different now, less hostile, more honest. "Look," Donna said, her voice softer. "Now, I'm not perfect. I get irritated. I get jealous sometimes." Melissa's eyes narrowed slightly. "Jealous?" "Yeah," Donna said. "You got stuff going on, even if I don't know what it is." And instead of asking, "I just talked around it. That's on me." Melissa didn't interrupt. "But I'm not against you," Donna continued. "I'm not trying to tear you down." Another moment passed. Then Melissa said quietly, "I don't like people talking about me." "I don't either," Donna replied. "That's why I'm talking to you now." Melissa leaned back in her seat. Some of the tension in her shoulders eased. Not gone, but not as sharp. "We good?" Donna asked. Melissa hesitated. "Then we're getting there." Donna let out a small laugh. "I'll take that." They hung up. Melissa sat there for a moment, thinking, processing. The anger wasn't gone, but now it had direction. Inside, Donna put her phone down and shook her head slightly. Rochelle looked at her. "Better?" "Yeah," Donna said. "It's not as bad as it looked. You gonna tell her everything?" Donna shrugged. "Yeah, eventually." Out in the parking lot, Melissa finally pulled out. But her mind wasn't on Donna anymore. It was on something else, something bigger. The rumors, the attention, the feeling that people were watching her. The unit was empty. That's why Walt liked it. No noise, no movement, no distractions. Just space. Walt stepped inside and let the door roll down behind him. The metal rattled once, then settled. Silence. He stood there for a second. looking, not casually, measuring. 2 rooms, not equal, but close enough. A dividing wall with a narrow doorway between them. Walt walked the distance, counted his steps under his breath. 7, 8, 9. He stopped at the threshold, looked back, then forward again. 2 open. He muttered. He stepped into the second room, pulled a piece of tape from his pocket, marked a line across the floor just inside the doorway. Clean. Straight. He pressed it down with his foot. No one crosses that, he said quietly. He walked back to the first room, set a small folding table down, adjusted it slightly, then again, until it sat exactly where he wanted it. From his bag, he pulled out a compact scale, placed it in the center of the table, turned it on, watched it calibrate. 0.00. He nodded once. Next, 2 cases. Identical. Black. Hard shell. Cleaned. He set one on each side of the table. Opened them. Empty. For now. Walt stepped back. Looked at the layout. Room A. Room B. Line. Table. Scale. Distance. He walked it again. Slower this time. From door to table. From table to line. From line to second room. Timing it. 30 seconds, he said. Too long. He adjusted the table. Moved it 2 feet closer. Walked it again. Better. A car passed outside. Walt didn't react, but he heard it. He reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. Checked the time. Then typed a short message. Walt, location confirmed. Tomorrow. He sent it. Put the phone away. A moment passed. Then, he reached into his bag again, pulled out a stack of real bills, set it on the table. He didn't count it, didn't flip through it, just place it on the scale, watched the number settle. He adjusted the stack slightly, let it sit. Consistent, he said. He removed it, replaced it with a smaller stack. Watched again, same process, no emotion, just confirmation. Walt closed one of the cases, left the other open. He stepped back toward the line, looked at it. That's where it breaks, he said quietly. Not the product, not the money. The moment someone steps too far. He turned and walked back to the main door, stopped, listened. Nothing. He rolled the door halfway up. Let light spill in, then closed it again, testing visibility. Good, he said. Across town, Troy sat at a table covered in stacks. Neat, organized, every bundle tight, squared uniform. He picked one up, ran his thumb across the edge. Smooth, another stack. Same. Jason sat across from him, watching. You really think this is going to go smooth? Jason asked. Troy didn't look up. Yeah, 3 million is a lot to move like that. Troy set the stack down. That's why I'm not moving it, he said. He is. Jason leaned back. You trust him? Troy shook his head slightly. No, then why do it? Troy finally looked up. Because he's not trying to be trusted, he said. He's trying to be right. That sat for a second. Jason nodded slowly. That's different. Exactly, Troy said. He reached for another bundle. Held it up. Checked the alignment. Perfect. He's not worried about me, Troy added. He's worried about the process. And that's supposed to make me feel better, Jason said. Troy smirked slightly. It should. Back in the unit, Walt stood in the center of the room, still, looking at everything one last time. Table, cases, line, distance. Nothing random, nothing loose. He nodded once. Satisfied. Then he walked to the door, opened it, stepped out. Pulled it shut behind him, locked. Walt stood there for a second, keys in hand. Prepared, he said quietly, then he turned and walked away. Brian's phone buzzed while he was mid-sentence. He glanced down. Jesse. He let it ring once more, then answered. What? I need Troy's address, Jesse said. No greeting. No let-in. Brian leaned back in his chair. No. You didn't even ask why. I don't need to. Jesse paced on the other end. Brian could hear it, quick steps, uneven rhythm. This isn't random. I need to talk to him. Then find another way. Don't do that, Jesse said. You're the one who connected us. I pointed you in a direction, Brian replied. That's it. That's not how it works. It is with me. Jesse stopped moving. You know what I'm dealing with right now? No, Brian said, and I'm not trying to. That's the problem. You should be. Brian muted the TV without looking at it. I stay out of things that don't involve me. This involves you. No, it doesn't. It does if I'm calling you. Brian rubbed his face. That's your decision. Not mine. Jesse let out a breath through his teeth. This is bigger than you think. It always is with you, Brian said. That landed. Jesse's voice dropped. Just give me the address. No. You're really going to do that? Yeah. Jesse laughed once. No humor in it. All right, he said. Then tell him this. Brian didn't respond. Tell Troy he should watch his back. Brian frowned. What is that supposed to mean? You'll figure it out. Jesse. The line went dead. Brian stared at the phone. He replayed it. Watch his back. Jesse didn't say things like that unless something was already moving. He stood, walked to the window, and looked out. Cars passed. Nothing unusual. He dialed. Troy answered on the second ring. Yeah. Jesse just called me, Brian said. And he's looking for you. Not surprised. Brian leaned against the wall. He asked for your address. Bro. And you didn't give it to him. Fuck no. Good. Brian hesitated. He told me to tell you something. Troy shifted slightly. Go ahead. He said you should watch your back. Troy didn't speak right away. Brian waited. Anything else? Troy asked. No. Troy nodded to himself. Appreciated. Brian frowned. You want to tell me what that's about? No, that doesn't sound good. I got it handled. That's not an answer. It's enough. Brian shook his head. Brian exhaled. You don't sound worried. I'm not. You should be. About Jesse? Troy said. No, you don't know what he's into right now. I don't need to. Brian paused. That confidence wasn't fake. That's what bothered him. Troy, I said I got it. Brian stopped. He knew that tone. All right, Brian said. Just don't ignore it. I'm not. They hung up. Troy lowered the phone and set it on the table. He didn't touch it again. He looked at the stacks in front of him. Neat, tight, ready. Stay focused, he said quietly. Across town, Schrader flipped through a report. Slow. Careful. He didn't skim. Gomez leaned back in his chair. You're reading that like it's going to change. It already did, Schrader said. He set one bill on the desk, picked up another. Held them side by side. Feel that, Schrader said. Gomez took the bill, wrapped it between his fingers. Feels right, Schrader nodded. Exactly. Gomez looked closer. No bleed, no softness. Lines are clean. Schrader tapped the edge. Consistency, he said. That's the part people mess up. Gomez set it down. So, what are we looking at? Schrader leaned back. Not a guy with a printer. Gomez nodded. Organization. Schrader pointed at the photos. Distribution first, he said. Production comes later. You don't want the source? Gomez asked. I want movement, Schrader said. That's where mistakes happen. Gomez looked at the bills again. You think it's already out? Schrader didn't hesitate. It is. Gomez nodded slowly. Then we're behind. Schrader turned the bill once in his hand. Not by much. Melissa sat at home. Lights on, TV low. She stood near the window, watching. Her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She let it ring. Didn't move. It stopped, then buzzed again. She picked it up, looked at the number. No name. She declined it. Set the phone down. A car passed outside, slower than usual. Melissa watched it through the curtain. You're not crazy, she said quietly. The car kept going. Her phone buzzed again. She didn't look at it.